Hey there, folks. Team Bastard coming at you from Fort Bastard. Today we're going to be discussing the Microsoft Conference. My name is Sean, also known as Lupus Metalorum, also here with...
Chris here, also known as Risk Rigger.
My name is Aaron, also known as General Kamikaze.
Zach, also known as Secluded End on Xbox Live. I just want to take a second before we open up this podcast and talk about Pasty Pale Productions. They are a channel that we are working together with to bring some great content to you guys. Jake is the host. You can find him on Twitter at IrishmanJake, all one word.
He's a sexy Irishman.
He is. All right,
well, let's jump on in. First thing they talked about was the new consoles, the new Xbox consoles. Zach, you had some information pulled up on the Project Scorpio, the enigmatic new powerhouse.
Oh,
you
man.
want to talk about that?
Sure thing. So they didn't really give us a lot of information on it, unfortunately, but they did kind of give a little bit of hint towards the power. This thing's going to make 6 teraflops, which if you're anything like us, you have no idea what a teraflop is. So naturally, we looked up teraflop, and it is actually the peak shader arithmetic rate, which is how fast it can handle the rendering of the graphics. So just for a quick comparison, the current top model NVIDIA GPU is the GeForce GTX 980. It runs 5 teraflops. The Xbox is going to add a full teraflop onto that. Now, the new NVIDIA chips coming out this year, I haven't looked at the power for them, but nonetheless, we're going to have a console that's basically a super PC, and that's great for the console market.
This thing runs, of course, true 4K.
Yeah.
It's going to be a beast.
They did call it a monster.
They did.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that, especially after buying my 4K TV and being able to play like House of Cards on it, and that's pretty much it.
Yep. There wasn't much about it. They showed some of the cards and boards. They may not have been real, but I mean, I've got a hard on for it.
I'm still excited nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Why do you think they called it Project Scorpio? Do you think that is a final title?
It could be. It'd be an interesting name for a console, I think. Stray away from the Xbox One, which is kind of I get the name, but,
Yeah. Well, it's going to be fun. Looking to hear more about that. They also introduced the smaller Xbox, the Xbox S.
which is, it's interesting as well. It's not going to support 4K gaming. However, it will support 4K video playback, which is a big deal, especially if you're a Netflix lover and you want to stream that House of Cards 4K like I mentioned earlier. It's going to be great for that. It's, one of the biggest things we notice is it doesn't look like a VCR anymore.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, it looks like it's going to have a $299 price tag, and it's going to be this August. Eventually, they're going to expand the memory up to 2 terabytes, which is definitely necessary, I feel.
What I don't feel is necessary is buying the Xbox One, unless you just don't have the moolah. That's understandable, when Project Scorpio is coming out so soon after.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, for sure. Personally, I will not be investing in this little model. I don't know about you guys.
No.
It's just not a full upgrade at this point. And the Scorpio is going to be worth the money, and I'm sure it will be expensive. I really think it will be expensive.
It'll all just come down to the price tag. 'Cause, I mean, it might be $600-$700. There's really no telling until it comes out.
Right.
Yeah. Still not as much as a top-of-the-line gaming PC. Though.
Yeah, like the $1,100 I just spent on mine.
Yeah. The good thing is, though, on Scorpio, it will play all of your Windows 10 with the Windows crossplay, your Xbox One games. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing about the Scorpio, too. They're not going to cut out the regular Xbox One or the Xbox One S gamers. It's just going to all work in conjunction with each other. You're going to be able to play the same games and go from there. So that's the best part for me, making sure that nobody gets left behind, because that's not what we want.
Yeah. My favorite thing about the conference was probably Gears of War 4.
Yes.
By far.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played this series since it came out, and when Gears 2 came out, that is the only game I played for like a year. And this one just looks fantastic. I'm really glad they're introducing the Anywhere, to where you can play it on Xbox and PC, and the crossplay. I'm really glad they're finally adding that into games now.
Yeah, I think that's a great step in the right direction for gaming, and I think that kind of gives Sony something to work towards.
Mhm.
Because Microsoft's coming out, everything's cross compatible now, and that's the way it needs to be, in my opinion.
I'm just excited that the new crew for Gears doesn't look like they've injected muscle milk into their ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, but you can only take so much screaming and grunting for 3 or 4 games.
For sure, yeah. But the Gears trailers look fantastic. The beta got some good reception, as far as I know, when it came out not too long ago. I think it's gonna be a great game.
Looking forward to the new characters.
Mm-hmm.
Getting
The
away
elite
from
controller.
the original group.
Yeah,
Even though it seems that Marcus is still in it. I'm pretty sure the main character of this one's his son.
James.
And what Chris just said, that elite controller. What do you think about that, Chris?
Pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the art style on it was just gorgeous
Oh,
all around.
yeah, for sure. Definitely. $150 for a controller, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
This time around, I think this can be said for a lot of returning titles. There has been more focus on environment.
Mm-hmm.
Not just how it looks, but how it involves into gameplay. The demo they showed at the conference for Gears 4, it looked like the environment was even more deadly than what do they call them? They're not locusts anymore.
They call it the
Swarm?
The
Swarm.
Swarm.
Yeah, there was that bit when there was just a huge dust storm, like Mars dust storm, and lightning just kept shooting down from the sky.
Yeah, like they weren't even really killing them. They were trying to take cover from all the stuff flying, and it was
Yeah.
just kind of taking care of them for them.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
I think there's going to be a lot of moments in the game where the environment helps you out, whether you want it to or not.
Yep. For sure.
It looks like now that it's been, possibly a few decades after the end of the last Gears game, chronologically, which was 3. It was 3. Yeah.
Yes.
Looks like the planet is just even more fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Might even be in its dying throes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it definitely looks interesting. That's there's a lot of games they've showed so far that I'm going to pre-order.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
definitely one of them. I mean, Microsoft really blew it out of the water this year, I feel like. And moving on from Gears, they talked a little bit about Killer Instinct, which, I didn't play a lot of Killer Instinct, but it was free. You could play the basic characters and play. So, I've experienced it.
It's certainly it is the most played fighting game on Xbox.
Yep.
And it's been used in tournaments, all of its other iterations, for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think you always see it at EVO now, still.
Yeah.
They are bringing that to Windows 10, like a lot of games. The big news for that, they will be introducing 3 new characters. Rash from Battletoads, which, okay.
Okay.
All right.
The Arbiter from Halo, that's an interesting
That is very
choice.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very different genre than Halo, which didn't really have that much gore. Now you bring it into Killer Instinct, which is just crazy brutal.
Yeah.
The Arbiter. And also General Rom from Gears 1.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Oh, he was a bitch.
I feel like it's going to be, those are going to be some great additions. There's not going to be anything like, playing as General Rom and stabbing the Arbiter through the chest.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a grapple character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. So, moving on from Killer Instinct, Forza Horizon 3. If you're a racing game fan and you like open world, being able to travel around and, play games with your friends, this is the game for you, easily. The first note that we all agree on is it looks super sexy.
Hell yeah.
Like, we can all agree that game is gorgeous.
It tops the Forza Horizon 2 environment.
Definitely. My half chub for racing games is now at least a 3/4 chub.
At least a 3/4, that's good.
He's almost there.
Almost there. Just a few notes about it. It is going to be set in Australia, which, that's just what
Okay.
they want. And, it's got a 4-player campaign co-op, which is interesting for Forza. It's never been done before in a Forza game. It'll definitely encourage me to play the campaign because I've never really been a campaign player of a racing game. I mean, it's a racing game.
It was all right. I definitely preferred the multiplayer, but the campaign was decent.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a lot more to be desired, I guess. And I think that the co-op can bring at least a little bit more into that, which will be nice. Looks like it's got a release date set for September 27th. And that's yet another game that I'm going to blow my money on, more than likely.
I just want to hit a wallaby.
Yeah.
The new vehicles looked interesting that they added to the vehicle roster
Yeah, like
in
the
this
Jeeps.
game. They had the Doom buggies that we saw in the trailer, and then I guess you had the classic rally trucks. I guess I never played the rally DLC for Forza Horizon 2, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, the environment just looks so much more detailed now. I feel like those cars are going to be more of a necessity when
right.
going off road because there's these giant plants in the way and beaches, and it seems like it's a lot more in depth.
There's going to be real-time weather as well. That looks like it's going to affect the tracks.
Yeah, that's interesting as well. I'm all about the real time weather and daytime, nighttime, shifting, everything like that. It's just great.
As long as I'm not racing on the beach and go to slide and my car just gets stuck,
Yeah,
I would be kind of sad.
yeah.
For all of Australia's venom, everything venomous to kill you.
Oh yeah. All right.
Okay. Next, we had just a brief look at a game we have seen at last year's E3. Recore. Looks like a fun little cyberpunk platformer.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. I mean, a lot of the trailer we were watching, it seemed like you were doing a lot of platforming, and that's the aspect of the game I would enjoy for sure.
Yeah.
And it looks interesting. Don't know a lot about it.
I mean, it's a year later. We still don't really know that much more about it.
It's coming out soon though.
Mm.
But I like the robot companions, all the different ones. That's pretty interesting. Looks like you can play the way you want to.
For sure, and I think that's what most games. It feels like now most games are about that. They're trying to cater to the players, which I'm all for, and they're trying to bring in that level of immersion that we really just need in games nowadays.
It'll definitely be worth a look.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it'll at least be worth checking out. So, Final Fantasy
15.
I'm gonna let Sean talk about that. He's the big Final Fantasy fan here.
Oh, I may not be the biggest one, but I certainly enjoyed them quite a bit. Sort of the running joke that we've heard about Final Fantasy 15 that's had a mixed reception is that you play as a team of Clouds. Everybody's fucking Cloud. You got Cloud with black hair, Cloud with glasses, shorter Cloud, whatever. It looks fun. I will play as that bishy boy band all I want. I'll still fucking play. Looks like it's going to be a mix of RPG and character action, fighting. The trailer or the demo they showed us was of the crew fighting like a big Titan rock monster.
Yeah.
And it had QTEs, all kinds of fun shit. It looks great. The music was, of course, stellar because it's from Final Fantasy.
Right.
Great orchestral pieces.
I've always heard that about Final Fantasy, with its
yeah.
music, people just enjoy the soundtracks from every game.
Oh, yeah.
This is, of course, probably the greatest offshoot of the Final Fantasy equation, and that's why a lot of people don't seem to like it. But I'm down for it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks promising to me.
It looks very immersive, very fun.
Mm-hmm. And I've never really played too many Final Fantasy games, but this one looked fun, so I might have to check it out for sure.
Yep. And you all can check that out too. It is releasing September 30th.
Woo! All right, moving on to a game that I really love. They showed a little bit of the new Division content, which is coming out. It's called The Division Underground.
It looked very interesting.
It looks very interesting. They had a few points come up talking about, I guess it was randomly generated missions or something like that. That sounds really interesting to me, just to kind of see what that's going to bring to the game. I mean, and what that really means. Because they didn't go into a lot of detail. I mean, that could mean a lot of things, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
They discussed that it might be a bit like a dungeon crawler in that the further you go down, the better gear and drops you can get. So really rewarding.
Which would make sense in a game like Division where loot matters greatly
Loot
for your
matters so
character
much.
progression.
Mm-hmm. Everywhere's the dark zone.
Oh, wait. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
So much Dark Zone. So much Dark Zone.
So many cleaners.
But it will be interesting to see what this new content brings. It comes out later this month. I don't remember the date. Excuse me for that. But I will definitely be picking that up because I already have the season pass. So we'll get some.
Already picked it up.
Already picked it up. So once that comes out, I will definitely be giving some impressions in a future show on what I think about that.
Next, we had Battlefield 1, which they didn't really talk much more than hadn't already been covered in the days prior. Excuse, we have a vehicle bumping some bass.
Badass. We got a badass over here.
And he has passed. He really enjoys his bass. The biggest thing about Battlefield 1 is that the game is releasing on October 21st. However, if you are both an Xbox Live subscriber and an EA Access member, which I don't know how many people are, you can get it a week earlier on October 13th.
Interesting stuff there. I mean, you know, obviously, if you feel like paying $15 a month for EA Access, I mean, that's on you.
I usually just wait until the day of, really,
right
for most games.
I mean, it might be worth, you know, you might be able to get around the system a little bit and buy 1 month subscription and then cancel it just to play Battlefield.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some way to get through.
Team Bastard does not advocate that.
No, Team Bastard does
It's
not advocate that.
just an idea.
Yeah, just a thought. Just a thought. We're going to leave that right there.
You can't pin it on us.
That's right. Please don't.
So there wasn't much on Battlefield that hasn't already been said. However, they did introduce some new updates for Xbox Live that I think we're all pretty stoked over.
Yeah, those were interesting.
The biggest one I was looking for was background music.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be interesting just to, even if you're not with a group, you know, you're just chilling out playing a game, maybe some GTA 5, have your own music playing.
Yeah.
Just chill out.
Yeah.
I've tried doing that, and like you have to like snap a separate app, and then it still doesn't like to work with the audio of the game and all that. It'd be interesting to see if it'll actually let you do that now.
If you have to, I think Zach, you were voicing some concerns if you have to buy the music again.
Correct. I mean, you know, obviously right now you can use a flash drive to import your music to the Xbox. You can listen to that. But as of right now, as far as I know anyway, there is no way to rip your music off of a CD, which is, you know, that's been a feature since the original Xbox. I mean, you could easily rip your music to the original Xbox. So I just kind of hope they add that in. That would be a nice feature to have with that. Let's see, it looks like next they've got... you're going to be able to choose your preferred language no matter what region you're in, which, I mean, I guess is interesting if you
More
know,
accessibility.
if you need that. Mm-hmm. We're going to get Cortana on Xbox One, which I know Aaron's really excited about.
So excited.
Don't you just love her?
No, I really do not. I mean, it's a good concept, but on Windows 10 at least, she just keeps popping up. And it's like, I don't need you right now. You can go away.
So she's going to pop up in like a hologram, like on your screen, like, whoosh, hello.
And it just tanks your performance.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You won't be able to do anything. Not even snap an app, not snap your party app, nothing. Aside from that, we're getting clubs.
That's huge.
Which is huge, for
Yes.
sure. And just piggybacking on that, you know, they're adding looking for group, which is, you know, amazing. I mean, we're all Destiny players here. How many times have we needed the LFG?
Oh, no.
I mean, that's just big. You know, PlayStation did communities. It's about time we got something on Xbox.
And I actually really think it's a smart move on Microsoft's part to implement that into the games that are going to be coming out, because, you know, there's going to be people out there that are going to be new to Xbox and they're going to want groups to play with, and I think this club idea would be just amazing for them, so that way they can join our world, I guess.
Looking for players to supplement your team, you don't need to go onto Reddit or download some third-party LFG app.
That's good. Yeah, that's huge.
They talked about this before 2 days ago during EA, I believe it was. EA or Bethesda. I think it was EA.
I think it was EA.
The Arena functionality. It's a new tournament platform where it looks like you can just make your own tournaments, which would be great. That's going to be really great for the fighting game community.
Mm-hmm.
Plus sponsored tourneys from producers.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really cool. Like you said, fighting games, it's going to be the main use for fighting games.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good stuff there.
Just adding more competitiveness into the market.
Yep. So I know Chris is really excited about this. The rest of us, not so much, but
Because they're weird.
Well, yeah, but that's beside the point. So the Minecraft friendly update. What can you tell us about that, Chris?
The cross-platform playing is a really interesting thing for Minecraft, because for a while Minecraft was only for PC. It was never for Xbox or PlayStation. It was just a PC exclusive thing. And when Minecraft finally came to both of those consoles, I mean, it was just a new direction for the game, because it introduced players that probably have never heard of it, or, like, I guess, don't prefer PC gaming and they prefer console, so it was great for them because they finally got to play Minecraft on the gaming console that they want. And with this cross-platform sorry about that. It would introduce multiple platforms in one server.
For sure.
Definitely bring the community together. Has anybody tried Minecraft on a mobile platform?
I have.
'Cause that seems
I have not.
so tedious to me.
It's really bad.
It was so hard to play it on a mobile platform. Yeah.
It's really bad. That's about all I have to say about it.
If you can build something good on the mobile platform, kudos to you, because I couldn't even build a house.
Speaking of new experiences, talking about the mobile, that seems to be a smaller, let's just call it crappier. That's my opinion. Crappy. I think it's crappy. Way to play Minecraft. They introduced Minecraft VR. Now, not too big on VR, but that might be fun.
It could be interesting.
I will say, though, if I was to do that, I would just go make a fucking shit.
Yeah, just, do something productive in your life and go build something real. Interesting, though, to say the least. I don't know if anybody remembers last E3, they showed off, HoloLens with Minecraft. That was cool, too. So I kind of hope that they haven't scrapped HoloLens completely, because I think that could be a really interesting piece of technology as well, especially for a game like Minecraft.
I mean, we also have texture packs coming to mobile and Windows 10 for Minecraft. I mean, personally, I'm okay with just how Minecraft looks by itself, like the original look that it has. So that didn't really appeal to me much.
You don't want to imagine you're in Mass Effect?
No.
No.
It just doesn't fit to me, it feels like.
So they're doing this cross-platform play. Is mobile included in that?
I would think so.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Okay.
I think I saw iOS on there. I'm not entirely sure. I imagine Windows phones for 5 people who own those.
Yeah.
Be going there.
Yeah. But that's interesting. I mean, I like that they're tying everything together, but I mean, last time I played Minecraft on my phone, it was like a I'm going to compare it to like DOS in the Windows 95 days. It was like that basic. It was just the bare essentials. That's all you had.
Yeah, I never knew they actually caught up to the other ones, because in order to do cross-platform, I would assume that everybody would be on the same page as far as to what they could use.
I guess.
So it'll be interesting.
Yes,
well,
it will
that's
be interesting.
one word for it.
Yeah.
Also, we do have new add-ons coming in the fall.
Yeah, I
So
think
just be ready for those, because
is coming
Minecraft is always improving, getting better, in my opinion, compared to the alpha/beta days.
I just thought the limit of it was playing on my Xbox One controller. I mean, that felt strange enough as opposed to keyboard and mouse. But speaking of controllers, they did introduce new custom controllers. This is not the Elite. This is the
Just basic controller.
Yes. You can customize your body, your button, and your stick colors. You can not engrave, whatever the term is, put your name or some kind of phrase down at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It's interesting. I think it's going to, it's not the Elite controller, it's just a regular controller. I've heard a lot of people saying that it's going to put Scuff controllers out of business, the company that you can make your own custom controller.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, because Scuff, you can add buttons. Like, this isn't like a build your own custom Elite controller. This is just a base controller you can change the colors on, which is cool. I like it. I think it's a good idea.
Although some of the color schemes they showed were kind of out there.
Aside from that, though, it just depends on how much it costs. I mean, that's
Right.
really going to determine how this goes.
They would probably up the price a little bit from the original controller based off of how much you can customize on it. I mean, I know it doesn't seem like much, but it would probably raise the price a little bit from the default price that it is, just to customize it.
Definitely. They did cover a nice little indie game. I'm all about them indie games, called Inside. And the big draw about Inside is that it is from the creators of Limbo. Anybody who remembers Limbo remembers that it was probably one of the most atmospheric. Somebody in the hallway. It was probably one of the most atmospheric 2D side scrollers that just left you with all kinds of memories.
Until you ran into the spider.
The spider was not fun. A lot of bad memories about the spider. Much like Limbo, although it's 3D this time, it still looks dark, atmospheric. No gameplay at all. It was just...
Yeah, that kind of just showed like a couple of scenes, like just showing the game's atmosphere, like what you would be dealing with while you play the game, and then they were like, that's it.
Really relying on the reputation from Limbo. That will, however, be out on June 29th, and Limbo will be free on Xbox Live, even though it was already with gold before.
Yeah, I mean, I downloaded the game. Unfortunately, I never got around to playing it, but I've heard nothing but good things from these guys. So I
You
might
would have
check
gotten
it
mad
out.
at the spider.
Probably.
It's an excellent side scroller, made you think, but it also had this really dark and sadistic atmosphere to it.
It had children dying.
Yeah, you'd walk up and just get impaled by like a tree or the spider leg. It was really dark.
Oh yeah. Some more indie games. We have Outlast 2.
Yeah.
It's
Oh boy.
not just Whistleblower. It is going to be a new game.
Which Whistleblower was really weird for a DLC for Outlast.
Oh yeah, for sure. I enjoyed Outlast. I'm a fan of horror games. I like that. It sounds weird, but I like that feeling of being like scared and not knowing what's happening. Like
Here, piggy.
and I enjoyed playing it. It was one of those games. You play at midnight, you turn all the lights off, you put your headphones on, and you just listen to everything. And it's a great atmosphere game. So I'm certainly looking forward to Outlast 2.
Could you imagine that in VR?
Oh god.
Oh no.
I don't want
I would cry.
Don't even give
I
them that
would cry.
idea.
Actually cry.
Oh Jesus. They didn't show any coverage of this whatsoever, but they had the list of all the indie games, and I saw it for those 2 seconds they were on screen, and I got excited. It was Bloodstained. This is, of course, from the makers of the old Castlevania games, since Castlevania is pretty much dead.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it was entirely fan-funded, and it looks straight like a classic Castlevania game. I am so excited.
Moving on from the indie developer standpoint too, looks like Ark Survival is going to be coming to Windows 10, which is really nice. Looks like if you've already bought the game on Xbox, you're going to be able to get it on PC as well. So, that's yet another great feature that Microsoft's bringing to the table, the C3. What was that other game? We Happy Few.
Oh, yeah. The Aldous Huxley simulator, apparently. Brave New World.
Reminded me of the gameplay, reminded me of Bioshock, but that's a creepy game. I think I'm going to enjoy that game as well. But
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about some guy with a creepy mask with a smile just looking at me like, how you doing?
Well, the whole premise is what looks interesting to me.
What's going to be really fun, it looked like your character could choose, at one point, to take his medicine called Joy, which, it's the opiate of the people, whatever, how the fuck they're going to do it, or knock it away. So I wonder if the game, how you perceive it, will change depending on if you continue to take your drugs or not.
That would be interesting. I didn't think about that when we were watching.
Because at one point, the character, when they were showing the demo, did not take his medicine. And the pinata they were hitting at the company party was actually like a dead rabbit or mouse.
It was like a rat or like a giant rat or something.
It's going to be very, very fun.
Be very weird. And, we're just going to mention it for a second just because I want to be able to say it like this, but...
Are you guys ready to play some Gwent? Yeah. You want to play Gwent?
Yeah, so Gwent, if you play The Witcher 3, it's the card game from The Witcher 3. It'll be interesting, but that's about it. If you like the card game, you like the card game.
It's another card game coming out when the Elder Scrolls, Elder Scrolls Legends?
Yeah.
The only difference is Gwent was actually requested by players, so I guess I'll give it a pass there.
Yeah, and it was. Now, is it... One thing I didn't really pay attention to, which is my fault, is it a mobile game or is it like a full-fledged console game?
I think it was with the crossplay. It's going to be on all of them.
Okay. I was like, because you know what? It might not be a bad game to have on your phone,
Probably more suited to mobile.
For sure. So, that's interesting. Next is Tekken 7.
I'll take this one, since
Sean
I
wants
apparently am the only fighting game player here.
Aaron raises his hand.
Do you? I thought you said you didn't.
No, I've played Tekken when I was a kid. I was all about Tekken and Mortal Kombat, and those were the two I grew up on.
Okay.
All about them.
Okay, well, let's talk about this then. I personally, when they showed Akuma, if that's how you want to pronounce it, Akuma, however, fuck, I'll be American and say Akuma. When it showed him coming up to Heihachi in his temple, I thought this was Street Fighter Cross Tekken. And I was so excited. It actually is just Tekken 7, but I'm fine if they're going to be introducing Akuma. They might bring another Street Fighter characters as well, which I'd be just fine with. They've introduced some new mechanics, it looked like. A little more Street Fighter-wise, obviously. Looks like there's going to be QTEs in a fighting game. How do you feel about that, Aaron?
I don't know. I mean, it looked very interesting, and I'm glad it's getting away from like the standard Tekken form where it was just punch, 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 kick, kick, kick.
Get down on your knees, just punch them in the dick till they're down.
Yeah. Because Street Fighter always had more mechanics in it and more abilities and all that. I'm glad that they're bringing that into Tekken.
Tekken's always been a little more realistic physics because it's not an animated game. Well, I mean it is, but whatever. That's going to be very fun. That ships early next year, 2017. But if you're listening to this as of the week of E3 2016, get online. You can get a free copy of Tekken Tag Tournament 2 all week. So why the hell not?
Yeah, free games.
Relive some memories. Beat the shit out of each other, get salty.
There you go. That's what fighting games are all about.
Salt.
So much. Oh, so much.
I'm so bad at fighting games. I enjoy them, but I always lose.
We're going to have some tournaments.
Yeah.
Teach you boys how to play.
All right.
Okay.
I'll mash buttons.
It's the way to win, man.
All right. Looks like we also got a Dead Rising 4 announcement. It looks interesting. It's Christmas themed,
yes.
which, at one point we saw a gun that shoots candy canes. That's what Dead Rising is. It's just ridiculous fun. Definitely looks like an interesting game. I know Aaron's a Dead Rising fan.
Yeah, I like the chaos. It seems like they've done the same thing as the previous ones. They've just added new, crazier weapons and vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like driving around launching zombies at other zombies.
No.
The original protagonist is back. That's going to draw a lot of people in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, just one more thing to bring people back into the game that maybe didn't stick through the other two.
Instead of orange juice being the uber health item, it'll probably be eggnog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just chugging eggnog.
Yeah, probably.
That would make some sense, actually. That would be good. So let's see. What was it? Microsoft Studios with Scalebound.
Introducing Scalebound.
Yeah.
I was just excited because Kamiya came out on stage.
Yeah.
Hideki Kamiya, one of the coolest motherfuckers. It's Platinum, folks. If you're familiar with Platinum, you know what to expect. A lot of crazy character action battles, big-ass bosses. He actually said Scalebound is going to have the biggest boss fights from Platinum yet. And all I thought was, Jesus Christ. Because if you've played Bayonetta, Wonderful 101, there are bosses that seemingly are bigger than Planet Earth.
Yeah.
Scalebound, the demo showed them fighting a big crab battle.
Scorpion thing.
And all I could think of was, crab battle. And then do massive damage.
Until he put the headphones on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
It was
that
cool
for a
until
second.
then.
Platinum's always been a little awkward, a little strange with their characters, which I'm willing to give it a pass, but are we seeing another Dante?
I think we are. He seemed very much like Dante in a way.
Child talking shit. Does anybody who
But it
puts
seemed
on,
like he could back his talk up too.
maybe. It just pisses me off. Ever since Blade 3, when that girl puts the music in her ears, I play music while I slay. It's like, get
Really?
over yourself.
Really? No.
No.
Just stop.
Well, at one point, it makes more sense for the music that starts playing while you're fighting the boss. You're actually putting on the headphones
So
and the music
there's
kicks
an
on.
explanation.
Yeah, they
there.
did time it right. I'll give them that though. It was still just weird
It's
because it
still-
started out badass and then it was just like I'm gonna put some headphones on
It's
and
fucking
fight
weird,
this thing.
but there's Platinum.
Yeah.
And as they say, Platinum never loses its luster.
Yeah.
There's a drop. But Scalebound looks like it's up to 4 players, so you can just all ride your monster hunter monsters into battle,
Yeah.
wielding big-ass swords with magic.
Nothing more manly than that.
Although the main
Yeah.
characters look more dragonish in nature, I would say like a miniature dragon.
They had like that ability where they could like pop dragon armor. Is that what that was? What I was seeing
It
there?
looked
Probably
like-
some connection with their
Yeah,
animal friend.
that's interesting.
All I had to say is that it's platinum, and people who are familiar will buy it.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm buying it.
I'll probably buy it. Yeah, it looks solid.
Yes, it did look interesting enough to look into.
Oh, crap battle. Crap battle. So, along with amazing studios, we have a game from Rare. Woo! I'm glad to see Rare's coming back. Ever since Rare Replay,
Yep.
they have a new game called Sea of Thieves. It's a pirate game, multiplayer pirate game.
Arg.
Nice joke.
That's my contribution.
Oh, no.
It just looks like, it's a pirate game, what more can you expect from it? Basically, you're going to be searching for treasure with friends, fighting monsters, fighting other players, ship battles, which seems really cool. You just want to, who doesn't want to blow up somebody else's ship?
They had 3 teams versus each other, and you could actually like haul the sails, just play out all your, I don't want to say pirate fantasies, because that goes somewhere.
Yeah, we can take that somewhere, yeah.
But fire the cannons, you had to patch holes in the ship, you had to worry about water getting in. It looks very fun.
It does.
It doesn't look like it has too much lore. It's a Rare game.
Yeah.
Not to throw shade on Rare games, but they just focus on fun games.
Yeah. Like, who played Donkey Kong Country? That game was awesome. I love that game.
And their latest one, was it Tropical Freeze?
Mm-hmm.
They still have it.
Yeah, they sure
They
did.
probably didn't even do that. And we're going to get comments calling me a dumbass.
Well, you know what?
Maybe you should do some research.
Maybe. Maybe fuck me.
We can make that happen
Please don't.
while we're playing Gwent.
So much Gwent.
So much Gwent.
They talked about State of Decay 2.
I never really heard of them.
Zombies.
Yeah,
Zombie
zombies.
games.
Do we need more zombie survival games?
No.
I don't think so.
No, we do not.
Give us another Last of Us. Oh, bye.
Oh man, Last of Us. Don't get me started on Last of Us.
Last of Us 2.
There's just some stuff there. And then Halo Wars 2.
Halo Wars 2. I know I'm excited about this one. I was telling the guys earlier, the only reason I really enjoyed this game to begin with was because it was the only game I could play on my satellite internet connection with my good buddy Chris here.
Poor Zach and his satellite.
But, I'm a fan of RTS games. I'm really looking forward to Halo Wars. I think it's going to be a great game. While we're on the topic, go download the beta now on Xbox One. And is it on? Can you download the beta on Windows? Is it already on Windows?
That's a good question. I didn't see anything about it.
Yeah, I
don't
don't
quote
think
me
they
on
mentioned
that.
that.
Don't quote me on the Windows thing. It's definitely on Xbox.
It's only a beta, so probably not.
Probably not. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to it. I think Chris is looking forward to it.
Yes, I love the last Halo Wars, and if Halo Wars 2 just lives up to the theme, Halo Wars, their big thing was their cutscenes were
So beautiful.
gorgeous,
Mm.
and even for its time, they were good.
Oh, yeah.
Halo Wars came out on the 360, and the graphics and the cutscenes were just beautiful. It's like you were watching a movie.
It's gorgeous.
And hopefully with the 4K technology that we have, it'll look even more amazing on a TV like that if you have one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. When the Scorpio comes out.
Yes, that'll be
Oh.
very... Imagine playing Halo Wars 2 on the Scorpio with the 4K support.
Yep. All right. So, all in all, Microsoft had a great press event.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many games. 2 consoles.
They
that doesn't-
never
that doesn't
disappoint,
happen.
I don't think.
That doesn't happen. And we're going to get into the Sony conference in another episode, but in my opinion, Microsoft blew it out this year.
Yes, they did.
The crossplay, the new features coming to Xbox Live, like the tournaments and your own LFG.
Mm-hmm.
How can you compete against that?
Yeah,
I really don't know.
Plus the 2 new consoles, and they're not even forcing you to upgrade.
Oh,
You
no.
can still play your old one if you want, but if you want that extra power, you can't.
Being very accommodating with their consumer.
for sure. And and that shows with the custom controllers. I don't remember if we touched on the Gears of War Elite controller, but that's interesting. All this stuff just tailored for us, the players. It made the whole conference for me. So
It almost makes me want to forgive them for Windows 10 and some of its
Almost.
bullshit.
Almost.
Almost.
Key thing there, almost.
All right, folks. Any closing concerns, comments?
No.
I think we were just all impressed.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't have anything negative to say.
No, I mean, I was shocked at how much they came out with this year.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right, guys. Well, this has been the Microsoft E3 coverage from Team Bastard. Just want to take a second to shout out Pasty Pale Productions and Film Beef. They kind of helped us out and brought us on, and we're kind of going to work together as a little network of podcasts. You can find Film Beef on YouTube and Pasty Pale Productions as well. Make sure you go give them a like and a subscribe. Check out their most recent videos. They do great things over there.
That's it. Team Bastard signing out. Say bye-bye.
See you guys later.
Bye-bye.